morning, ladies and gentlemen. We have ourselves a brand new day, and starting off with this brand new day, we already have NSRX starting to go a little crazy right at 7:30 right here. This play has now gone from $6, shot on up towards 942, and we are kicking off the day right here and right now. Let me shut this door because this dog is barking, and we got a little bit of hype. We got a little bit of momentum. And seeing NSRX, we can see it just came on out here with a press release, 3-star press release. NSRX announces positive top-line data on phase 2 study achieves significant superiority and faster enterprise delivery. Traders, there is nothing wrong with this press release in any sort of way. So NSRX, this play just shot on off from $6 to $9.40. Now, for anyone who does not know, usually always, this 875 region always holds up as some sort of resistance. We saw again NSRX just go from $6 right up to 930 or 940, a little bit above 875, now started pulling back a little bit. There is a good chance that we do spike back up towards around this 820 area. There is a good chance that we could start seeing some hype over on this play over on NSRX. We do have 776, which is the VWAP area. I'm thinking about doing some small shorting opportunities if we start getting back above like $8. We start seeing, 820, maybe again, 500 shares, 840, 500 shares, 830, 500 shares. I would like to be able to get involved on a shorting opportunity, but I want to be able to do it probably right around, close to 875 and maybe just keep adding shares as the stock spikes its way on up. So right here, unfortunately, a lot of times in pre-market, all you do is get pump and dumps. We see that happen nearly every single day. Every single day, we see stocks come out with hot news, stock goes on an explosive move, stock comes crashing back on down. It really doesn't matter what the news is. It really comes on down to the first people that get in are going to make the most amount of money. If you're late, you short it. And if you're late to the short, you look for a possible dip buy or wait for a bounce back on up to re-short. But again, this is why it's so important every morning to be watching over on the Fox Runner scanner, because we see 7:30 a.m. NSRX, 3-star press release, 40% gain, positive, phase 2 trials, achieve significant superiority. And now again, the stock did go from, again, the price of $6 and spikes up to $9.30. Now, we want to see, can it, hold? Can it have some strength? Can it be able to move itself on up in any sort of way? But NSRX right here, this was a good one. I actually saw this one the moment it came on out. I don't like trading, though, guys, when you guys aren't watching. Like, I don't like trading. I don't like you guys joining the show and me being up $500 already. I don't like you guys joining the show and I'm already up $1,000. So I wanted to wait until, again, we started before I made any trade live on stream. I think that's so important. Nothing's worse than you guys logging in, being here early, saying, I can't wait to watch Sean Dekmar. And all of a sudden, boom, he's already up $1,000 before the day started and goes, oh, I'm done on the day. You want to see live trades. You want to see in real-time trades. You want to see, again, an actual performance here. So, now that you guys are here, let's get ready for some trades. Let's get ready to see what we can do best. Now, again, with that being stated, smash that thumbs on up right here and right now. Everyone hit that like button at this moment. Let's kick off this Money Monday, right? Let's get ourselves excited for this day. Let's make sure every single trader is ready to rock on this one. And we'll see, of course, what's going to be coming on up. So NSRX, obviously, again, we are going to be watching to see if we can get back above $8 to look for shorts. Is there anything really on ULY for us, though? ULY? No, not really. Is there anything on CTMX for us? CTMX, we definitely want to be looking at. NSRX, that was the one that did just come out with news. CLIK, not too much. DSGR, also a nice little spike, guys. DSGR started spiking right around, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. So this is one that maybe you want to keep your eyes peeled on. So again, you do have DSGR. Nice spike to $26 this morning. So that is another play that I think every single trader should be, again, focused on and seeing if we could possibly squeeze on up towards, maybe $28.75, maybe $29. Let's break down these plays. Every single stock, start to finish, making sure that we are all good, ready to go. First play. As we already are talking about it, let's just kind of discuss really quickly NSXR. Remember, guys, if we want to get a full breakdown over on the stock, it is very simple. Type in NSRX, and we can see the entire press release right here. Once again, we take a look at this press release, we can see it's to present top-line analysis from its NS2 Power Phase 2 single repeat dose clinical studies. Basically, again, this play at this moment, we do have some great hype and we do have some great momentum behind it. And actually, excuse me here, that was actually news from 6 days ago. You actually have to use the premium section because the premium section is actually coming over from Bazinga now. They made a partnership, and you guys can actually see announces a positive top line data from its phase 2 study achieves significant, superior, and faster epidine delivery compared to its EpiPen with accelerated speed. There is nothing to dislike about this press release. There really isn't. It's showing it has the word demonstrated. It's showing it has the word significant. We already know we have good hot keywords of positive and phase and achieves and significance. These are all great words to bring in buying volume, which is why I do believe there is a great opportunity that this stock is going to open on up and possibly go on a big rip and run. I do believe that NSRX is not done yet. There's a chance that this could give it another go up to 840, up to 850. There is a chance that NSRX could easily squeeze back on up towards, again, that 870 area, and you just say to yourself, whoa, what the heck's going on? There's nothing to really dislike about this play. And I do think there is a lot of potential behind it if NSRX can start getting back above $8. So please, 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 keep this stock on your back burner. Be aware of it. This is a play unless it crashes underneath $6. It is not done in any sort of way. And a second round of squeezing can easily happen because there's not much to, again, hate about this stock. If this stock does start spiking, we could see it all the way back up towards its old spiking highs. That's why it reversed in the first time. Guess where, again, the old spiking high was? 942. Guess what this price is right here? 945. So you can see old spiking high definitely held up as some resistance. Next area that we are going to have some trouble, though, is just going to be these old little spiking highs, which is going to be right around 840, 850. So again, those are the two main areas to kind of be focusing on. 840, 850, that's a great small shorting area. If we start squeezing through that, you can go back up towards 940. And if we start getting above that, then we do know $10 would probably be next. There's three main lines of resistance that you'd want to be watching on NSRX. Again, bang, bang, bang. Old spiking highs at 840, old spiking high at 940. And then again, the main top resistance up near around $10. Does have an excellent press release. NSRX is only 3 million in float. There is not much I dislike about this play in any sort of way. It's a stock that I would say keep your eyes peeled on. All right. Awesome. Now, what else do we have here? You guys can also see CTMX is a top dog that a lot of traders are still focusing on and watching. Now, we can see again right at the very top right here, top gainers with news or filings. We do have CTMX, we do have NSRX, obviously the number 1 and number 2 place. But again, what's going on with CTMX? Well, CTMX has again a gold press release with a lot of different emojis, but this is more coming on down to the pure fact that this is an earnings report, right? We take a look over on CTMX. It says announces 2025 financial results and business update. So this is an earnings report, guys. This isn't saying anything too crazy or too wild. It's more just coming out and saying, hey, we had a great, previous quarter. So CTMX earnings reports usually don't lead to crazy pump and dump type of spikes. A lot of times they're more slow and steady. And also when you guys take a look over on CTMX right here, CTMX is 120 million in float. So having a 120 million in float play, it's going to be a little bit larger. It's going to be a little bit slower, but it did have this great press release right here. And on top of the earnings report, you can also see CTMX also came out and demonstrates positive data supporting new potential as a new treatment option in late-line colorectal cancer. So we do have, again, CTMX as well coming out with this very good press release. We do have earnings reports, we have positive cancer data, and then obviously after that, we do have NSRX. So these are, again, some of the best at the moment. These are the plays that are getting the majority of the hype and the majority of the attention that we do want, and we do want to keep our eyes peeled on. CTMX stock has gone from $5 up to $8. Remember, it's a very large float play. It's most likely not going to squeeze. If you want to see the stocks that's going to squeeze the best, NSRX is most likely going to be one of the best ones to continue to keep your eyes peeled on it to see if that play could be able to get a nice next leg on up, nice spike, next rip. But I do also want to watch DSGR right now. A DSGR stock went from $20 up to $26, did just drop on down to $24. Is there anything going on with DSGR? Let me take a look real quick. DSGR right here. Thursday was the last press release I see. So again, I'm not seeing anything over on DSGR at this moment. DSGR, how much is that gapping up real quick? I just want to see. DSGR. 27%. So I just want to see, is that coming up on the top gainers with news or filings? Nope, I'm not seeing anything right now on DSGR. If there is something on DSGR, feel free to post it. Feel free to, say, hey, Deck, check that out on DSGR. But this is a play that obviously has gone from the price of $19 up towards around $26. Definitely, again, thinking or, saying there's probably some sort of news or filing somewhere, that is leading towards this spike, leading towards this ripping, leading towards this running over on DSGR. So again, stock has gone from $20, ripped up towards around 26, did come back on down, does have a little bit of a larger spread at this moment. My favorite play so far is, again, the stock NSRX, but again, NSRX right now isn't really doing too much. What I really want to do at this moment, though, as you guys know, it's just kind of get everyone back on a game of catch up right here. Make sure everyone's on the same page. Make sure everyone's, again, being able to follow along saying, hey, we don't need ULY right now. ULY, stock again got bought out, went up to $5, moving completely sideways. You guys do not need that play. CTMX right here, CTMX did have an earnings report and did talk about positive cancer data. Okay, DSGR, I don't see any news on DSGR. If there is news, someone please post it. CLIK, don't see anything right there. And then, of course, we did have, NSRX that we're going to continue to keep our eyes peeled on. NSA also came out with a press release earlier this morning talking about getting acquired, I think, for $41 per share. So I always like to make sure we are good. Deck, is there anything that you need to buy right now at this moment? Is there anything that you would pull the trigger on right now at this exact moment in time? And the answer is no, I wouldn't. There's nothing I would buy right at this moment in time, right? I don't need anything right here. If anything, it would be, again, NSRX. But as we know, NSRX goes on that very big spike. It's what I teach you guys nearly every single day. Every single day, what do I say? I say at the times of 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, get ready for news. No matter what the news is, expect to see, again, big buying volume and run and hype if it's a low float stock and has some keywords. What are those keywords that you guys want to be looking at every single time? Those keywords are going to be like positive, reaching endpoints. Those are going to be agreements. You guys could see, again, positive. Phase 3, top line significance, demonstrates treatments, agreement, cancer, partnership, collaboration. These are words that bring in hype. These are words that bring in momentum. These are words that make traders get excited when they see them in the title of a press release. The moment that these are in the title of a press release on a low float play, stocks start moving on up. NSRX went on a big time spike, $8.75, $10, going to be strong resistance. On top of that, we also know $9.40 is going to be an old previous spiking high. And then again, guess what? We did see that big long upper shadow. Stock formed that nice long upper shadow. That's what indicates the reversal. And then the stock starts fading and falling back on down from there. So that's what it comes on down to, traders. Seeing it's almost the same exact thing every single day. And now, again, we got to wait for most likely, 8 o'clock. There might be a one or two press releases that come out right now at 7:45. We'll keep our eyes peeled to see if we get anything big or spiking and ripping at 7:45. But other than that, let's just stay smart. See where the hype, see where the momentum goes. Man, traders, it feels so good to be back. It feels so good to be back. We are all set, ready to go. We are all set, ready for this day. We are all set, ready for momentum. We are all set, ready to see where the buying volume is going to take us. Woo! I'm ready to go on this one. It really just comes on down to how is this market going to react? Now, today, traders, as you guys may or may not know, head on over to CNBC. I always kind of start my day over on CNBC just to get an idea of what's happening. It says Brent crude holds above $100 as Trump says U.S. may hit Iran's oil hub again just for fun. Meta signs deal up to $27 billion with Anibius for AI infrastructure. We will remember Trump warns countries to help secure Strait of Hormuz as shipping stalls. Oil's war-driven volatility pulls in retail money, fueling meme-style trading. All right. So traders, basically, it's what we already know. Now, again, what do we already know? Let's take a step back, guys. What do we already know about the stock market? What do we already know about trading? What do we already know on what we have right now? Well, what we do know is we know that there are attacks, there are conflicts, there is a battle between, again, multiple countries, but especially when we're thinking about United States and Iran. Okay. When there are, again, bombs dropping in Iran, there is going to be a lot of stalling. Stalling with what? Stalling with oil, stalling with gas, stalling with energy. There is a little tiny water passage where that is where a lot of ships go in and out to be able to load up oil and send it all over the world. And that right now is closed. Why? Because it's too dangerous. It's too dangerous to go through. It's too dangerous to have. So guess what? We are having a very low supply of oil being shipped around, especially to the United States. I'm using the same amount of oil as I was last week. and again, the week before that, and the week before that, you're probably not changing your oil habits. So what do we have at this moment? We have oil at this time spiking up to highs because we have a low supply and we still have the same high demand. So that's why we have seen stocks, when we take a look, such as USO. USO go from $78 and spike all the way up towards $119. We have seen stocks such as BATL. BATL go from $3 and spike all the way up to $30. We have seen plays like TPET go all the way from, again, 42 cents and spike up to $2. And that's because they're oil plays. Notice TPEC says petroleum, aka oil. Go ahead and take a look at BATL, Battalion Oil. Take a look over on USO. USO, again, says oil fund, oil. So again, that's where this hype is coming on out. That's where this momentum's coming on out. That's where this attention is coming on out. So we are getting a lot of, again, a great attention, a lot of hype, a lot of action. And again, we're seeing if we're going to see USO get any sort of this next leg on up here. So as oil goes on up, a lot of times it means the S&P 500 is going to fall. So why do you think we have seen the S&P 500 continuously fade and fall and drop and get weaker and weaker and weaker? It's just because the S&P 500 going from 700 down towards around 667, it comes on down to there's issues with this attack with Iran, with, again, oil supply. That's the main problems. That's the main issue at this time. So the S&P 500, we will continue to keep our eyes peeled on this. But as of now, with the S&P 500, we got to stay smart and keep our eyes peeled on it. So I am watching this right now, staying smart. Don't want to put ourselves in any sort of bad position in any sort of way. Make sure, guys, little heads on up, just heads up for everyone. Make sure you guys are always using the premium news. Notice how, again, there is like premium news with achieves and offering. Those do not always come out on the all news section. Premium news is, again, filtered out with, again, Bazinga's exclusive press releases. With the all news, that's free for the public, but again, sometimes does not get exclusive news. So again, Fox Runner did partner up with Bazinga, and now, again, you guys can get all of, again, Bazinga's feed, which is like $400 a month for only $69 over on Fox Runner. But again, always be in the premium news tab, as you will get all the best and all the hottest news the moment it comes on out. So let's make sure, again, we are all set, ready to rock and roll. Coming on up here next over on the S&P 500. But that's just, again, kind of a very simple, easy breakdown on what we've had over the last, 2 months now. Over the last month, 2 months, it really just has been Iran, United States. Oil goes up, S&P 500 goes down. Now, again, the S&P 500 on Friday fell on down towards 2026 record lows. Now, you guys have a big decision to make right now. You guys do. 2026 record lows are here. Friday, we came on down to the price of 662. Who here is getting ready for a dip buy? Who here is getting ready for a bounce play? Who here is saying, Deck, this is going to be the bottom before we bounce all the way up to 700? Well, the S&P 500 is about to bounce off its 200-day moving average. Yes, guys, we usually see 50-day moving average bounce play, 50-day moving average bounce play, 50-day moving average bounce play, 50-day moving average bounce play. You guys can see how, again, moving averages usually hold up as great bounce play indicators. The absolute strongest indicators you can have is in the monthly time frame. Monthly time frame, you guys can see the 50-month moving average has always been the absolute perfect dip buy. Where, again, you guys can see in 2018, it was the perfect dip buy. Back in 2020, it was the perfect dip buy. Back in 2022, it was the perfect dip buy. Back in 2025, it was the perfect dip buy. Do I believe we are going to fall all the way down to 511? The answer is no. No, I do not. Do I think we could easily fall on down to 640, though? The 13 EMA on the monthly chart? Yes, I do. So I would say personally, me personally, what do I believe is going to be the best opportunity for the dip buy? What do I think is going to be the best opportunity to be able to make money? I do think it's going to be at the 13 EMA at the price of 647. If you fall another $20, anything sub 652, I think is an amazing entry to start putting yourself involved in long-term investments. That means, again, getting yourself involved over in Microsoft, getting yourself involved over in Meta, getting yourself involved over in Google, getting yourself involved in whatever. I would say if, again, the S&P 500 falls another $20, Google's going to be right next to its 13 EMA, probably right around 275, 260. I do think Meta is going to be back on down towards some strong support around 550. We are going to see Amazon most likely back on down towards around like 170. We might be able to have some incredible dip buys coming on up. I do not, again, fear dip buys. I do not fear the market falling. That's just a better opportunity for me to be able to load the boat. Traders, remember, what do I always say to you? My long-term investment account is for retirement. My long-term investment account is when I'm 60 years old. Guys, that is going to be in the next 28 years. Let's go ahead and let's take a vote right here. Does every single person here agree that in the next 28 years, the S&P 500 will be higher than where it is now? In 28 years from now, will the S&P 500 be higher than 667? And guys, you might be the one out of the 100, the weirdo in here, but 99.9% of people will say yes. Do we have, again, 2 months of falling during, again, the pandemic? Yes. Did we have, again, 8 months of falling back in 2022? Yes. Did we have, again, 2 months of falling back in 2025? But what does the S&P 500 do over time? Guys, this is all the way back in 2009. 2009, all the way up to 2026. The market goes up. Could there be a AI bubble at some point? Yes. Could there be a great recession at some point? Yes. Could there be a housing market crisis at some point? Yes. How long does the housing market crash last for? I don't know. A year and a half? How long does the bubble last for? I don't know. 2.5, 3 years? How long does, again, COVID last for? 2 months? How long did tariff fear last for? 2 months? The average bear market is going to be around 11 months long. The average bull market is about 3.5 to 4 years. So traders, anytime that you're saying to yourself, you know what, this is for my retirement, it's okay if the market falls. And again, you don't have to have this fear-mongering mentality where you're saying, oh, we're going to crash all the way down to nothing. This right here is the highest the stock market has ever been. We have essentially gone from the highest the stock market has ever gone to one little pullback. We are at the same price that we were at in October. So again, there's really not that much fear in this market. There's not really that much worry at this market. If anything, get ready for a dip buy and bounce play when it comes back down to 640, 650. And that's where you could say to yourself, you know what, let me go ahead and get a good entry. But, being able to just continuously buy at the highs is probably not the right move. But what do you guys think Google will do over time? Google moves up over time. Meta will move up over time. Amazon will move up over time. That's just the way these go. That's the way these work. They will move up over time. So do not let fear, again, take away from, again, great dip buys that are going to be coming up in the near future. Okay? So make sure that you guys are all set. Make sure you guys are ready to rock and make sure you guys are getting ready to make this money. Now, traders, we do have about 5 minutes until the 8 a.m. press release wave, which is going to be absolutely awesome. But let's go back on down to the very bottom right here. Let's get ourselves prepared on what we have and kind of going with this talk that we have at this moment. It says the S&P 500, 5% or more correction territory. Guys, this is what we want to see. This is what we're talking about. This is the history right now of saying to ourselves, what happens and when did we see the S&P 500 have more than a 5% fall in history? Okay? The history of the S&P 500 correction since March of 2009. It says the S&P 500 has declined 5.4% from its January 2026 peak, or 2026 peak of 7,000 to a low of 6,624. During the period ending of March 13th, 2026, this marks the 32nd pullback or correction exceeding 5% since March 2009 bear market low. So traders, you could see every single time we have had a more than 5% drop, and we have recovered. Number of days, 44 days so far. The S&P 500, the low, the decline that we've had. Okay? So this is, again, going all the way down to 2009. 2009, how many days does it take to fall around 5%? Well, the average number is right at the bottom here. The average number is 26. What is the average decline? 7.6%. So the average days that, again, the market tends to fall before we hit a 5% drop in reverse is 26 days. The average drop is around 7.6%. So that shows that we still have a little bit more room to fall. So what's the best way to trade this by having this information? The best way to trade the S&P 500 right now, and I'm not talking about like what's the most profitable or this is going to be the super secret way. I'm talking about what is the most conservative way to give you the greatest chance of making money is wait for around that 7.6% average. We might go slightly underneath it. We might go slightly at it. We might go slightly above it, whatever it may be. But if you can get an entry on the S&P 500 right around a 7.6% drop, that is statistically speaking going to be a great area for an entry. because you could see multiple times. This is where we came on down to 26 days of falling, 7.6% drop before a reversal and then running back up towards record highs. Could we fall down to 10%? Yes. Could we fall down 20%? Absolutely. But again, at least a great starting entry, maybe again, a great DCA, dollar cost average on your long-term investment would be right around 7%. And say, hey, that would be a great opportunity for you to get, self-involved in. Now, again, where's 7%? 7% is actually going to be right, again, where we talked about, right next to that 13 EMA, right around 650-ish. So right around that 650 area is going to be something great that you guys could be looking at and be focusing on, okay? What else do we have here, traders? We do know the S&P 500 right now, guys. S&P 500 monthly time frame. So if you guys take a look over on the S&P 500 monthly time frame, there is some fear that's building on up. Now, what's the main talk of the fear right here? It's because that we have this monthly chart, and we do have this huge channel at this time. And you guys can see top resistance, bottom support, top resistance, bottom support, top resistance, bottom support. Does anyone here think we're actually going to fall down to 550? I'll be honest with you. No, I do not. I do not believe we're going to fall down to 550. I think that's a little bit too much, but I can understand the image. I can understand the chart pattern. I don't usually like to fall into the fear mongering. I don't like to fall into, hey, we're going to continue to fall lower and lower and lower. I think, again, we will find some support right around 650 and then most likely try to run back up towards new highs from there. So let's just get ourselves prepared. Let's get ourselves ready. We do have the 8 a.m. press release wave coming on up, and let's get ready for our first trade of the day. I'm ready to make some money. I'm ready to make some cash, and I'm ready to get after it here. So I'm hopefully going to find some sort of play like NSRX right here, where NSRX could be able to get that nice spike up to 875, and then just look at that fade and fall. Look at that massive dump that we've had so far over on NSRX, guys. Hey, if you guys are enjoying the show, make sure you guys smash that thumbs on up right here, right now. Let's get ready to rock, baby. So, at this moment here, traders, I'm going to bring over my Cobra account. What I always like to do, guys, is get ready to be able to trade. I do not have any positions at this time. Just want to be open, honest, and transparent. I do not want to have any orders showing at this time. And then, of course, I do have my short locate box. I did locate 3,000 shares, but I did not enter any yet. Here comes the news. Let's get ready to go, guys. Demonstrates. I do like the word demonstrates. Usually when you demonstrate something good, we have positive research results. What is that stock right here? Positive HCWB. HCWB. Guys, maybe a little bit of hype. I don't like stocks that are sub $1. Usually not my favorite. Stocks that are sub $1. We can keep it on watch, though, to see if that does get some momentum and hype. Let's see if we get anything else here. HCWB is still a good press release. Talks about positive research results. Might get a little bit of ripping and running. Let's see if there's anything else. We do have phase 2 trials. ALZN initiates phase 2 trials. Now, that does not mean it has positive phase 2 trials, but it is saying it's initiating phase 2 trials. Amazon Web Services on FUSC. Let's see, whenever we see the word Amazon. Guys, FUSC getting a little bit of a pop. FUSC, a little bit of a pop right here. I'm not seeing much orders and action right there. But let's just keep our eyes peeled. See what we have. Hey. Waiting for that big spiker of 8 a.m. Waiting for the big spiker of 8 a.m. Waiting to see where the buying volume is going to take us. If you guys see anything spiking, ripping, and running, feel free to alert it. But again, not every press release wave we have a massive breakout. Again, I'm always watching Fox Runner here to see if we get any sort of big spikes. But a lot of times I'll just also run through trade ideas to see if anything is taking on off. Like CYCU, right? CYCU getting a little bit of hype. CYCU getting a little bit of momentum. CYCU getting a little bit of attention. Did just get a small little spike over on CYCU right there. So CYCU, a little bit of hype. TNMG announces an exclusive partnership with Mobi to launch Mobi Japan. Seems like CYCU is the best mover as of now. Stock did just go from 167 right up towards 250. I want to see if there's anything a little bit better out there, guys. Want to find where's our ripper, where's our spiker, where's our climber, where's our action. CTMX, again, did have an earnings report. We can continue to keep our eyes peeled on it. But again, CTMX is 168 million in float. That's a very large play. UOY, not really that big of a fan. CTMX did have an earnings report. CLIK, nothing. DSGR, it seems like it got bought out. CYCM or CYCU, does anyone have any news on CYCU? Little heads on up. Do you guys see any sort of reason over on CYCU at this time? It seems like most likely this would spike and probably come right back on down. I'm not seeing any sort of credibility right now. So I do just want to stay smart, stay ready. CYCU, maybe if it can get back up towards around that 250-ish mark. TNMG starting to move itself up? A little bit. CYCU, let's just see how much shares are to short on the play. I just want to see real quick. CYCU, let's say I want to get 6,000 shares on this play. Inquire all. I want to inquire for 6,000 shares. Let's locate the lowest amount, and that's going to cost us $15. I would say if CYCU can get back up towards around that 240-ish mark, the stock could easily start fading and falling and dropping right back on down, especially if there is, not any sort of crazy ripping and running we have. CYCU announces definitive agreement to acquire federal cybersecurity firm, reports record contracting backlog exceeding $150 million. So, thank you again. We do have a little bit of news. We will continue to keep our eyes peeled on CYCU. I'll locate these shares to short if it gets back up towards 240, 250. I don't want to spend $15 for no reason. So, maybe if it gets back up to 240, 250, we could get a little bit more hype and a little bit more momentum. But right now here, traders, just staying smart. I'm not in on anything. My position box is zeroed out. Nothing I'm in on at this time, as you guys can clearly see. So I want to see if there is going to be any sort of nice spike. I want to see if there's going to be any sort of nice rip, nice run, nice pop, nice climb, nice move here. Still, again, CYCU is the best bet. Let's just stay ready for that one. If that one does get up towards 240, 250, it's probably worth the short just because there is going to be some weakness behind it, especially with the VWAP right there. So I'm just watching. Seeing if we can get on up. Other than that, again, there is no other big spiker right now. CTMX did have an earnings report, did come out with, again, positive cancer results. CYCU, we did just have an order on a contract for $150 million. We did have, again, NSRX, which spiked and gave back all of its gains, but we're still kind of waiting for the main play today. Now, this does bring me back to the next main point. Today, guys, little heads on up. Today, I am going to be trading my prop firm a lot. Now, for anyone who does not know, I am trading my prop firm over on One Stop Prop. So again, One Stop Prop is where I am going to be trading. You guys can actually be using the code today, Lucky40, for 40% off, which is going to be absolutely great and absolutely awesome. So if you guys want to trade the prop firm today, there is, again, 40% off. 40% off is a lot. So basically, all you guys have to do is come on down here, type out whichever, again, how much money do you guys want to get funded? $100,000? Awesome. Boom. There's $100,000. You can say get funded now. And then obviously you have to go ahead and take your test. Now, again, what does that mean? Take your test. You are going to be charged, again, $300, $325 to take a test. And if you pass the test, you then get $100,000 funded so that you guys can go trade stocks. So basically, you pay to prove that you are a good enough trader. What does that mean? Prove that you're a good enough trader? You get $100,000. You need to make $108,000. Not need to make $108,000. You need to make $8,000 out of a $100,000 account. As long as you can make $8,000 from a $100,000 account, you get funded $100,000. So that's how it works, guys. Very simple, very easy. You go after it, you pay, and then you're all set. It's almost like taking an SAT. If you want to take an SAT, or if you want to take a bar exam, or you want to take, again, your insurance test, you need to pay a fee. Just so you can't just keep doing it over and over and over again. It makes it more, again, worthwhile, brings more value. Hey, I'm paying the fee. I need to prove that I'm correct so I don't have to keep repaying the funds. You do it once, you pass, you're good, and you're ready to rock and roll. So again, instead of paying $542 today, they are having a trade ideas, or excuse me, a one-stop prop sale so that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. But I am going to be trading the prop firm here today. Now, why am I going to be trading the prop firm trade? Just because of this market. Traders, what have we seen for the last 2 days in a row? The last 2 days in a row, we have, or not 2 days, 2 weeks, we have not seen as much penny stock microcap action. And when the microcaps do spike, they're a little bit more unpredictable. And the reason why they're more unpredictable is because a lot of traders have fear at this moment. You could think of the stock market almost as like a gauge of the economy, as are we confident or are we fearful? Now, when we take a look at the S&P 500 here, traders, imagine instead of thinking about this as the top 500 stocks in the United States, you think about this as a fear gauge. Well, traders, back in 2018, there was a lot of fear when we raised interest rates. Back in 2020, there was a lot of fear as we had COVID. There was a lot of fear when we had high inflation. There was a lot of fear when we had high tariffs. And now there's a lot of fear right now with this war. So traders, when we don't have COVID or tariffs or interest rates or inflation or again, wars, guess what happens? Confidence is high and stocks go up. And that's where people are willing to put big money in the market. And that's where people are willing to take higher risk investments. And that's where people are willing to go after, maybe meme plays or penny stocks or again, crypto plays or whatever. But again, when we see that the markets are fading and falling and dropping and things are a little bit slower, right? We do have to say to ourselves, hey, not as many penny stocks go on big rips and spikes. Not as many crazy climbs happen. Not as many, again, crazy, and not as many big breakouts happen because there's less funds going into riskier investments when we have the S&P 500 falling. So I would rather, again, during market hours, trade oil, trade the S&P 500, trade again futures, trade again whatever that has to do with actual global movement. Penny stocks, microcaps are great during pre-market. Hot news comes out, look for a big time spike and get ready for a short. Same exact thing with NSRX today. NSRX came out with a good press release, massive spike, upper shadow, get ready for the dump. That's fine. But again, every day since the market opens up at 9:30, that's where things slowed on down. That's where things started dropping. That's where we started seeing more weakness. That's where we're not seeing as much hype and as much momentum. So we definitely want to make sure every single person is clearly aware of that. You guys are being smart. You guys are being safe. And again, getting ready for today. So I'm really pumped on up about this and, looking forward to seeing what this day is going to bring us. It is going to be absolutely awesome. I'm jacked on up here. It is going to be one of those days. One of those days to bring in the hype. One of those days to bring in the momentum. One of the days to be able to bring in the action here. Woo! Also, a little heads on up for every single person as well. We are also seeing some other sales across the board. For anyone that is interested into, again, the charts over here, Trade Ideas is actually having a sale going on at this moment. If you guys type in the word, if you guys type in Dekmar 25, they are actually giving away 25% off over on Trade Idea sales. So Dekmar 25 for, again, Trade Idea sales, which is going to be absolutely awesome for, again, St. Patrick's Day. So St. Patrick's Day did just happen. And they are actually having their sale right now. So if you guys type in Dekmar 25, when you guys head on over towards, again, Trade Ideas, you guys will be all set, ready to rock and roll. That's going to be absolutely awesome. You guys will be all good, ready to get after it, get ready to have some fun. So make sure you guys are all set, ready to go, ready to get after it, seeing what this day is going to bring us. MTEK drones, guys. MTEK trying to get a little drone hype right now. Let's see here. MTEK receives order from, again, defense entity on drone video payload applications. Drone is a keyword I have. Now, traders, I actually noticed, how's our AMPX trade doing? Guys, AMPX, this is my baby right here. You guys know AMPX has been, again, basically my stock for the last 3 to 4 months. And it is absolutely awesome to see AMPX run on up last week and start hitting some record highs. What's the next big target for us? We want to see AMPX spike and break above that $20 region. If AMPX can spike and break $20, that's where we are going to be, sitting and feeling really good. So as you guys know, I alerted AMPX back in October. I'm sitting in right now with 1,000 shares on AMPX, right around $12. At this moment, AMPX, I am sitting with about a $6,000 profit. So no, I didn't invest $100,000 in AMPX. I didn't invest $50,000. I bought, again, 1,000 shares, which is a $12,000 investment on AMPX. And right now I'm sitting with about a $6,000 profit. So obviously, I would like to see AMPX, break $20, start running up to 21, 22, 23, put myself up 10 grand, 11 grand over on AMPX. But this is a drone play. This has to do with batteries, the world's strongest lithium battery, AMPX. We are going to be watching to see if that could break, $20 here coming on up in the future, which is going to be absolutely awesome. And, drones are very hot. The military uses drones, military warfare. Drones are, again, going to be a very popular thing, and things that are going on right now. AMPX is a very high demand play, starting to rip and run. Now, obviously, you guys can take profits whenever you guys want on AMPX, because we have been talking about this play for the last 3 months. Take profits when you want. If you bought it at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, $17, you're all in the profits. So whenever you are happy with your profits, take your profits. I, again, have told people I'm going to be holding on to AMPX most likely until like September, just because I want to see how high this one goes. If it comes in September and it's back down to $12, $13, you know what? I gave it a chance. I break even. I really don't think it's going to be going underneath those areas. So I really just want to see, is there a chance that this thing can go crazy, right? Can this play go wild? Can this play again get some hype? Can this play go absolutely insane? So we do have CTMX, CLIK, CJMB. Right now, we are sitting absolutely fine. Let's head back over to Fox Runner, go back to the analyst alerts right here. So we head back over to the analyst alerts, scroll on down. Let's just kind of see what we have at this time. We've gone over, again, the S&P 500 corrections, 5% since March. We did talk about, again, this little channel pattern, but let's kind of just go over everything. Earnings to watch this week, guys. We do have some big earnings. The ones that I'm going to be the most focused on is going to be OKLO, OKLO, because I do have a long-term investment over in OKLO. And also Micron, MU, one of the greatest plays of 2026 so far. So 2026, MU has been one of the greatest stocks. OKLO, OKLO is a nuclear play. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled over on OKLO. What else do we have here, guys? We also have daily sentiment drops to 2026 lows. So guys, what is, again, like daily sentiment? Daily sentiment is going to essentially be like confidence in the market. So our confidence in the market is all the way down towards a 33. That's the lowest it has been in 2026 so far. That's definitely a little nerve-wracking. That makes, traders a little bit, scared. Now, what's the good news is when we do hit these lows, that usually indicates a bottom on the S&P 500. So the bottom on the S&P 500, bottom on the S&P 500, bottom on the S&P 500. Right now, we're at the 2026 lows. Could this be a bottom on the S&P 500 before we start moving ourselves on up? So that's something that's negative and positive at the same exact time. What's also very positive or negative? One of the biggest bear indicators has just happened. The crossover on the 13 EMA. 13 EMA, one of the most popular indicators, guys, for anyone who does not know. The 50-day moving average, the 200-day moving average, and the 13 EMA are the most popular indicators to use. People always talk about having super secret indicators. It is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Indicators, which ones do you want to use? The ones that have the most influence, the ones that are the strongest, the ones that everyone uses, because they hold up as support and resistance, or they show us when a stock is going to be considered bullish or bearish. So the thing is, if on the S&P 500, we are cracking underneath the 13 EMA and we're now going on bearish territory, that is going to be a very kind of negative sign. Right now, there is a lot of fear, but there's also some positivity. It's kind of both. Right now, guys, let's kind of think about what we have. We have the S&P 500 falling over 5%. That's a very bad thing. But we also know that the average fall is only 7.6% before we fall, or before we bounce back up. So we are falling right now, but we might only have a little bit more to go before we bounce. Then on top of that, you guys can see that this chart right here is showing that we are starting to go pretty bearish, as this channel is showing that we have weakness. But at the same time, we have a lot of negative sentiment, which is showing that people are scared to trade, but sometimes that leads to the best dip buying opportunity, which also shows that, again, right now we are seeing a very big bearish indicator as we are going to the 13 EMA. So it's like we have bearishness, which usually leads to, again, fear, but the fear usually has gone down so low that now we might be getting our dip buy soon. So nobody knows what the heck's going on. Okay, so I'm just being honest with you. You can be in the positive mindset, or you could also be in the negative mindset. Whichever one you guys are, again, interested in the most, right? You have both sides going on at this moment here. What else, guys, can we be focusing on? Top 10 stocks with strongest revenue growth. So, guys, little heads on up. Top 10 stocks with the strongest revenue growth cycle. ONDS, NBIS, IONQ, AMPX. Hey, there's our play right there. That's awesome to see. IREN, AAOI, NVIDIA, Palantir, CIFR, LMND. So nice little list right here, guys. If you want to check this out, some stocks that have, again, extremely high revenue growth. What else do we have here? How does the S&P 500 react when oil spikes? So historically, sharp surges in oil prices have often presented attractive long-term buying opportunities. Since 1986, there has been 8 documented instances of WTI crude oil surging 20% or more over a 2-day period. In 7 of the 8 cases, the S&P 500 delivered positive returns over the subsequent 12 months. Okay. So guys, that's like another fearful thing right now for positivity in the future. 7 out of 8 times that oil has spiked the way that it's spiking right now, we have seen positive returns on the S&P 500. So I know it's easy to fall into the trap of the AI bubble is here. Tariffs are too high. Trump is at war. This. I really don't fall into it. I always see every pullback as a dip buy opportunity. And you know why? Because when I was younger, when I first started investing in the stock market, I missed out on too many good opportunities. I missed out on, oh, guys, COVID's happening. The market's going to collapse. Guys, the market did collapse and it bounced right back on up. Oh, hey, guys, interest rates, inflation is happening. The market's going to collapse. It did collapse and then it bounced right back on up. I always, again, see in my eyes, there's always great opportunities to pull the trigger whenever you guys have when you guys see these, great dip buy value. Data center value. Go ahead, check this on out. Pretty cool image right there. As of right now, all Mag 7 stocks are now in the red, right? All Mag 7 stocks are now in the red. Declines from 52-week highs, guys. What do we have? We have Amazon down 20%, Tesla down 22%, Meta down 23%, Palantir down 28%, Netflix down 29%, Microsoft down 29%, Oracle down 55%. We're seeing a lot of plays right now currently in the red. Now, we do have a lot of the news from today. A lot of, again, press releases have already come on out. But again, this is posted every day over on the analyst alerts. And then you also do have headlines from Bazinga showing a lot of great news over on, different headlines right here. TeraWulf signs of $500 million. So just sort of heads on up. This is basically, the headlines is like the Bazinga analyst alerts. They don't post as much detail, but they do post a lot more. The analyst alerts over on Fox Runner are going to kind of be like the main ones to watch. The headlines over here are more just like great ideas to watch. And then again, the premium news is where you guys want to be sitting. So let's continue to keep our eyes peeled. Let's see what we get. 819 in the market. We are staying smart. We are, again, watching and waiting. I want to put ourselves in the best positions possible. And I'm so happy to be here right now. I'm looking forward to a great day ahead. I want to see if we do get any sort of big time spiking, ripping, and running. HCWB definitely getting a little bit of attention right now. GHRC, guys, HCWB. A little bit of hype. A little bit of momentum. HCWB did just spike up towards around 90 cents. It seems like it does have some attention towards it. Started ripping and running right around 8.15 in the market. So HCWB started getting a little bit of hype, started getting a little bit of attention, started getting a little bit of squeezing.
Agreement.
So right now here, traders, let's just stay ready. I do want to see if we get any sort of big spikes, rips, runs, pops, climbs. It's going to be an absolutely awesome day ahead. We got, again, prop firm trading today. Going to be a lot of fun. We have, again, hopefully make some money over on some shares to short. Going to be a lot of fun. Also, it's good that we are back in Pennsylvania. Last week, we were down in Florida. But again, we are all set here, ready to go. Excited to be here this entire week. Ready to see what comes on up. I just want to trade. You know what I mean, guys? I would like to kind of like get into a nice flow. We started off this year so hot, 2026 January. What did we make in January? We made $15,000. Then again, over in February, what did we make in February? Around $13,900. And then in March, I'm going to be honest right now, in March, where are we at in March? Does anyone know? We made a whole bunch of money the first week. And then we lost money the second week, about the second half of the second week. And then we made some back last, Friday. So if anyone is saying, Dek, please help me out. Give me some details on where you're currently sitting. We are up about like $1,500 in March. March so far, we are barely in the green. I am not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and say we are up $15,000 in March. We are not. Every trade I do is live. You guys can look at all the past live streams and add it all up together. There's no reason for me to sit here and lie to you when literally every single P&L is posted. You guys can go back, look at everything. We are up again a great amount in 2026, about $30,000 from, again, $15,000 month one, $13,000 month two, but right now only about $1,500 in March. So I really want to step it up in this back half of March. Now, I also do realize, guys, not every month is going to be a massive green month. Not every month is going to be green in general. Some months are going to be better than others. But again, the most important thing is to stay moving forward, to stay consistently in the green. Don't go down $15,000 in one month. Stay again green and keep again having those feet shuffle forward, even if you are having, let's say, not the best month in the world. So I want my bad months to be up $3,000. I want my bad months to be up $4,000. I want my bad months to be up $5,000. The last thing I want to do is have my bad months take away in the entire previous month. You know what I mean? So let's make sure we are staying smart. 822 in the market at this time. Also, a little heads on up. Where's Bitcoin at? Just a little heads up with you guys. Bitcoin price, 73,000. Bitcoin still trying to move itself on up here a little bit more. Getting ourselves ready to rock, getting ourselves ready for an absolutely awesome day ahead. Traders, also I think this might be the last week that you guys might have a chance to do this. I am very excited. Very excited, guys. We do have the hashtag award show at StockTwits. Hey, can I see a show of hands right here? How many people are coming to the hashtag award show coming on up on May 4th? I will be there. So again, that is coming on up in about, a month and a half almost, May 4th, Monday at the New York Stock Exchange. So again, last year I went, it was a lot of fun. They had some comedians. There was an open bar. People were, again, meeting and greeting, and it was awesome. So hopefully, again, everyone comes on out. And if you guys have not yet, if you guys can take 1 second, I am going for, again, Financial Creator of the Year. So again, Financial Creator of the Year, if you guys can come on over here and type in the word Dekmar Trades, Dekmar, type in the word Dekmar Trades so I can become a nominee. So basically, what's the Financial Creator of the Year? This is the must-watch individual, podcast, or show that makes finance entertaining. This award celebrates the content you look forward to every single day, blending sharp market edge with unmissable format. So if you guys believe that when I'm live every day, if that's over on StockTwits, or if that's over on Tradecaster, or if that's over on YouTube, or X, or Twitch, or Kick, or wherever, you guys are saying, oh yeah, I wake up and I watch Deck every day. I watch Chaz Michael Burry every single day. I watch the man come over here every single day. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys scroll on down, go to, again, number 3, type in the word Dekmar Trades, so we are all good here. But I think voting ends when? March 23rd. So again, we do have voting ending after this week. I think Friday might be the last day, and then hopefully we have enough nominee votes to get ourselves over there ready to rock and roll. So I'll drop that link for you. Make sure you guys go to point number 3, type in, again, Dekmar Trades, and you guys will be all set. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate every single person here. I appreciate everyone that, again, has just shown so much love. You guys are fantastic, incredible. And let's get ready for, again, a big day ahead. HCWB still trying to squeeze its way on up. Right now, ULY, CTMX, HCWB. Guys, QRHC, a little bit of a random spike right now at this moment. Got ourselves to the big day, got ourselves to the big opportunity, got ourselves the chance of success. I want to see what we get at 8:30. I want to make one trade right here before, again, we go live over on Tradecaster, but I want to go live over on StockTwits and make it happen. We got ourselves a lot of opportunity. Come on now, ULY. CTMX, HCWB, CLIK, QRAC, NSA. Deck, how was Florida? Florida was a good time. It was a fun time. It was a good time. And then yesterday, I flew up to Buffalo. So I was in Florida last week. Then I went to Buffalo yesterday. My brother, he's actually a basketball coach down in Philadelphia. And he coaches a D2 basketball team, and D2 March Madness just started. So he's actually a top 50 team in America, which is great, but they got to the D2 tournament, but unfortunately they did lose. So they are out of it. They are done for the year. But I wanted to go up there, show some support to my brother, and, watch this team. Got some wings. I will say this. You hear about Buffalo wings, right? You hear about it, and you're like, oh, how good can Buffalo wings be? They exceed expectations. They are better than what you think they're going to be. A lot of times you're like, oh, I'm excited to go to this one place, and you go there and it kind of lets you down. Buffalo wings is one of those things that just didn't let me down. They were better than I thought, and I already went in with high expectations. I went to Bar Bill. I didn't go to Anchor Bar. I didn't go to Duff's. I went to Bar Bill, and that was the best one I ever had. They were delicious. They were delicious. So good, I want to Uber Eats them again. I want to Uber Eats them from Buffalo to come to my house in Pennsylvania. A 5.5 hour long trip. I will pay that man $300 to come make that trip. Right now, it's CLIK. Guys, we got about 3 minutes until the next hot press release wave. NSA, DSGR, NBIL. Let's see what we have here. Right now, ULY, UCHB here, traders. I think we are good. There's nothing that is like taking off at this moment, which is why I'm also, prop firm trading today. So again, prop firm trading today during the day. I always want to be extremely transparent as well. I will tell you when I'm trading my real money account, and I will tell you when I'm trading a prop firm account. Because again, a prop firm is different than, again, trading shares. But right now at this moment in pre-market, it's all shares. I want to see if we get something at 8:30 here. We can nail a big either spike or nail a short together. Start our day into the green. What's a great target always? Anything $500 plus is always a great way to kick off your day. $1,000 or more is a great way to end your day, right? So many people believe just because you're trading nonstop, you're going to make more money. And that's not true. And remember, I like to be able to trade until I'm happy, right? I will say the worst trading I have ever done is when I never walked away from the computer. I will say, some of the best trades I've done has been over the last 4, 5, 6 months. Because over the last 4, 5, 6 months, I did have like a little mentality shift. I did say, you know what? When I'm up over $750, I'm just walking away. I'm leaving with money. And I used to do what, guys? I used to make $750, and I would say to myself, if I trade again, I could make another $750. And if I trade again, maybe another $750. But the issue with that is there's not the same setups later on in the day. There's not the same opportunity. So now you're forcing. And instead of making $750, you lose everything you made. So now, again, it's rare that you ever go into the green. So what I like to do is I like to trade in pre-market, trade at the start of the day, make $1,000 and then walk away. And that's why I think I've been so consistent. That's why I have over a 90% win rate. Not a 99 anymore, but over a 90% win rate where we are saying to ourselves, hey, you know what? We're being as smart and as safe as we can. Guys, all eyes over on Fox Runner here. All eyes over on Fox Runner. We have, again, news coming on out at 8:30 a.m. That's going to be in about 30 seconds, and we are going to be all set, ready to go. As you guys can see, I am not in anything just yet, though. My position box is still 0 out of 0. I will alert anything I see. News is starting to come on out right now at this moment. And let's just see what we have. DPRO does have the word drone towards it. Secures a contract over on FGL. FGL, guys, FGL has a contract. Little heads on up. We did just start spiking over in FGL. $5 up to $6.20. Let's just see if that one starts getting any sort of hype. FGL's the best one so far. FTFT, not too much just yet.
Agreement.
Having a lot of like agreement news. Breakthrough patent. Has the word breakthrough and patent. FGL just went from $5 up to $6.20 and then kind of just crashed right back down to $5. So FGL was a quick little spiker. I do want to see what FGL does. Maybe FGL could have that chance to spike up towards like, 875 or so. So guys, just keep your eyes peeled over on FGL right now. It has a little bit of a larger spread. Stock could definitely get a little funky, okay? Stock could definitely get a little funky there. Inquire. I just want to see what FGL does. Is there ever that chance that it just randomly starts ripping and running to like $7 plus? If it does, just be ready for that weird little short. We do have, again, GRRR. GRRR. They just come out with the word agreement. Has a chance to maybe go on a little bit of a spike. Not too much right there just yet. Again, all we're trying to do is find our big spiker. We're just trying to find our big ripper and runner. GRRR, keeping that play on the back burner, did come out with, again, signs a landmark AI infrastructure deal. So that one has a little bit of attention over on GRR. And then FGL, I kind of just want to throw like, just in case we ever do get up to like 690, 500 shares. If we ever got up to like 740, 500 shares. If we ever got up towards 790, 500 shares. Just kind of like, just being prepared in case this one ever kind of went a little bit crazy out of nowhere. Also, again, GRR might be the play that's starting to gain some of the attention. I don't think that has a lot of volume, though. GRR, stock did just go from 1120 to 1140. Nah, it's not really worth it at this time, guys. And that's kind of the issue at this moment. We're not seeing many spikes right now. And also, again, we're not seeing much volume. It's because, again, people are still nervous about oil. People are nervous about, again, energy. People are nervous about the conflict with the United States and Iran. People are nervous to see what is going to happen next. So we're not seeing as many of these speculative plays, these smaller plays go on big spikes, rips, and runs. So here, traders, right now, as you guys know, I have not pulled the trigger yet today. I'm sitting back. I'm staying smart. I'm waiting for better volume. We, again, are watching FGL, but as you guys can see, what goes up comes right back on down. We are going to be going live over on Tradecaster. Make sure that you guys are all set, ready to get ready for this massive day ahead. Stock to its nation, I just want to say thank you so much. I hope you guys had a wonderful morning, but this morning is only starting on up. We got a lot of trading to do. Prop firm trade's going to be kicking on off. Let's have some fun. Let's get ready and let's get after it. I'll be going live in just a few moments. Stock to its. Make sure you hit that thumbs on up, like and subscribe, and let's get ready to go. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you guys back here next Monday.